Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Abdullah Abdelgawad, metric number 1829701. And this is our project for the computer architecture and the assembly language course. I'll be going through our project as a whole, and then I'll be passing to Brother Abdurrahman. So for our project, we aim to make our daily tasks more easier and more luxurious. So let's say instead of waking up every morning, opening up the curtains, go on and set the AC, and doing all of this, all the user has to do is just exist in the house, and then the motion sensor would be able to detect his movements in the house and would act accordingly. So let's say if it's at the morning time, the curtains would be open, the AC would be turned on to the desired temperature, and then if God forbid there is any fire that is detected in the house, it would be sent to the fire department or reported to the fire department. And then um, if there is no user in the house, the system would automatically lock the doors to make sure no one enters without a key. And that's basically it. Oh, and if we are at nighttime, the curtains shall close. So we have some notes here that we need to be aware of during running the system. So the digital sensors such as the smoke and motion and time shall only be using zeros and ones. The analog sensor should be only using whole numbers without any fractions. During the runtime, 1 is equivalent to a yes and 0 is equivalent to a no. So in the data segment here, we have some of the messages that we've been needing during our runtime. So we start off with our first sensor, which is the motion sensor. So here we start by getting the information from the sensor, and then we move the data, which is a 1 or 0, from V0 to Q0. After that, we branch. If it's equal to 1, we go to print people in the house. If it's equal to 0, we branch activate home security system, which takes us here to the lower part. We here have print people in the house, so we load onto A0 people in the house. Then we go to the print string. Print string basically prints strings and then jumps back to the whatever we were, and then we jump onto start second. So for start second, that's in case there are people in the house. If there's no one in the house, we have activate home security string, system string. Then we print the same thing. This would be updated later. And then we jump back to the start second. Start second is our second sensor, which is the temperature sensor. Then here we take the input from the sensor, and then we act accordingly. After we move it to T1, we have one of two options. Either we turn on the AC or we turn it off. So if the temperature is is more than 26, we turn on the AC. If the temperature is less than 20, then we turn the AC off. So this basically is like the desired temperature is between 20 and 26. And for the rest of this, Brother Abdurrahman would be sharing.
Bismillah Rahman Rahim. I'm Rahman bin Muhammad Suzuri, and I'm gonna present not the first two sensors. I'm gonna present the third and the sensor. So the time sensor and the fire smoke sensor. And I'm gonna proceed to present the loop program function. So I've added some data message here, like restart message, no smoke, and so on. And we go to the third sensor, which is the time sensor. So basically, for the time sensor, it will ask if it is morning or night. Okay, so if it is morning, we take 1 as a yes, and we will open curtains. If the answer for the time sensor is not morning, we will close curtains, and then we'll go on to the fourth and the last sensor. So right here we have the started sensor, we have prompt time, and we have all comments here. Just what I explained just now. And yes, if the user entered or typed 1, the curtains will be opened, and if they answer 0, which means the time is not morning, the curtains will be closed. And we'll take a look at the function specification for curtains open and curtains close. So it will print the curtains open message or curtains closed message depending on the decision made by taking the user input, either 1 or 0. If 1, this function will be executed. If 0, this function will be executed. Both of these functions end with the start forth, jump to the start forth sensor. So we'll demonstrate it after this, don't worry. So this is the fourth sensor. After we finish with this, the third sensor, we will proceed with the start forth sensor. So the concept is pretty similar with the time sensor. If there is smoke, the user will type 1 for yes, and if there is no smoke, the user will type 0 for no. So if yes, we will print the fire department, calling the fire departments and activate sprinklers string. And if there's no, we will print other string, which I just added to this program. So like usual, we get the user input. After we prompt them 1 for smoke and 0 for no smoke. So after we branch equal the input with whether 1 or 0, we call the corresponding function. So if there is smoke, meaning there is fire in the house, we will print this string, call fire department string, print call fire department string, which goes to here, call fire department. So this is a string that is going to be printed if there is smoke, which means there is fire. And the same thing if this function is not executed because the input is 0, which means there is no smoke or no fire, then the no smoke string will be printed. So the no smoke string is here. Perfect, the house is safe from fire. So the program does nothing actually except printing this string. Now all the functions for the first and the last sensor will end at the loop program or end program function, and it is here, the loop or the end section of the program. This is the very last part of the program. As we can see from the flowchart, all actions, either from the very first, which goes to here, here, and it will end here. Likewise, if the answer is no for the first sensor, it will go here too. So this is the very last part actually. So the concept is simple. We ask the user if they want to restart the program or not. 1 for yes, they want to restart the program. 0 for no, means the program will end after they enter the 0. So yes, we're getting the user's response and store the response. Lastly, we will evaluate. If it is 1, we will restart the program. If it is 0, it will proceed here and program. Because it is not equal to 1, it will proceed to the next line, which is here. So we'll take a look of this restart function. Here it says print restart program string. Print restart program string if user enter 1 for yes for restarting the program. So the program will print the restart message, and it will end with the restart smart room function, jump function. This is the loop actually. This is the loop we're talking about. Where is the loop? Yes, this is the loop. We can see here, if user want to restart the program, they will enter 1 for yes, and all the process over here will be restarted all over again. If they say no, they don't want to restart the program will just end like that. So without any time wasting, we will go to the execution part. So I have assembled it, so now it's time for us to run the program. So this is the start. Welcome to smart room. Are there people in the house? We will choose no, and then we will end here loop program. No, so 0 for no. This is just testing. Locking the door and activating home security system. Lock doors and activate home security system, and then loop program. Would you like to restart the program? So enter 1 for yes or 0 for no. If we enter 0, we will end the program. So yes, just like that. Would you like to restart the program? 0 for no. Thanks for using smart room. Program is finished running. Just like that. So let's use the other path, which is the yes. We will go through the third and the fourth sensors, and we will loop the program, and we'll choose no and end the program. Okay, so this is the starting. So other people in the house, we want to say yes because we want to follow all this path. Yes, and we will enter a value between 20 and 26, and we will choose it doesn't matter, we will choose no, which is taking 0 as no, and we will see. We will just use the system. The system very easy for beginners even. So enter 1 for yes. Excellent. So there are people in the house. What is the temperature? So we want it to be 25. Turning both aircon and heater off. 25 is here. Turning off air conditioner and heater. What is the current time? We want it to be night or evening. So closing curtains. So if the time is not morning, we will close the curtains. Is the house on fire? Is there any smoke detected? So 1 for yes or 0 for no. We will call the fire department for this one. Calling the fire department and activating sprinklers. And then after this path, we end here again. So if we want to restart the program, enter 1. So it says here, after we entered the 1, restarting smart room, and it redirects us to the very beginning of the program again, and we can experiment with this program as much as we like when we already have the loop function. So I think that's all from us. Thank you for listening. See you soon. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.